Hi guys, welcome to this session in Microsoft Excel. In this module, I want to have a look at basic macros, how you can record a macro, assign it to a command button, or add it to the quick access toolbar. So on the screen, I have a blank file. And what I'm going to do is show you where the macro feature is. So first of all, you've got it on the View tab. You can record macros at the end there through this little drop down, record macro, etc., etc. You've also got it on the Developer tab over on the left here. If you haven't got the Developer tab active, you can basically right-click and customize ribbon, and tick it on. Then you'll get that option. And whichever one you use, it's going to be the same. So I'm going to record a macro for today's date, the function today, which is a movable clock. Now, up the top here, you've got this option, use relative reference. It's well worth having a look at that, what that does. Depending how you record the macro depends how it will run when you activate it. So have a look at that first. Now, I'm going to click on record macro. I'm going to give it a name. I'm going to call this today. You can give it a key command if you so wish. Put it in my personal macro workbook, which means it will be available for the quick access toolbar, for example. Otherwise, it will only be available in this workbook or a new workbook. So I'm leaving it on that and then clicking OK. It is now recording what I do. So I'm physically clicking into cell A1. I'm going to type equals today with an open and close bracket and pressing enter. Then I'm going to type my name like so, press enter, and I might just widen the column as well. Now I want to stop the macro, stop. So that's me recording it. You get this popping up depending what version of Excel you've got. Basically, it's going to go in Office scripts. I'll just cancel that for a minute. Now I need to add a command button for this. Now that is why you need the Developer tab on, because in the controls area underneath Insert, you have a command button which you can click on, draw a small rectangle, and then allocate the macro that you've just recorded. So it's got personal workbook macro 1 and 2, which I did earlier, and then it's got this one with today, which is the one I want, and then you click OK. Well, you don't have to click off it. You can rename that, get rid of that label. It's got today on it. When you click off it, it's then active. So if I delete that and then click my button, it puts that information in there for me. So I'll delete that again. Now what I want to do is do another one where I'm just going to color that up. So I'll just do it again. So I'm recording a macro. I'm going to call this blue, recording it. And I'm just going to highlight those two cells and go home and do the paint pot blue-ish, light blue. Click underneath it. Go back to the Developer tab. Stop the macro. Draw another command button from the Insert command. Attach blue to it. That one. OK. Change the label if you wish. Put blue there. Blue. Click away. Now I need to get rid of this blue that's already there, obviously. Just wipe that back up. So I'll click on today, and then I click on blue, and it makes it blue. Now I could have done both of those macros together, but we're just learning it. Now if you need to move these buttons, you need to right click on them and then you can move it. You can just position it so it's similar sort of space to that. And then you've got a series of buttons. Now the problem with that is, at the minute, that is only available in this file. I need to save this as a macro enabled workbook. So when you click on save, you have to click on macro enabled workbook. And I'll just call it Steve. Hopefully I haven't got one called Steve. And it is going not in there. I don't want it to go in there. Go in documents and then save. So it's macro enabled. The macros will not run unless you've got that enabled. Now I want to get myself a new file, Control N. Now I obviously can't click those buttons from that previous file. So what I need to do is put them up here. To do that, you drop this little arrow down at the end, you go down to more commands, and then you've got popular commands, and then macros, and then you should see the macros. So I've got blue there. I'll take blue across, and then I'll take today across, both of them. You can see them here. Now, you can change what they look like by using this modify button down the bottom there. So if I just pick a symbol, sad face, no, I'll do a filter face for that one. Okay. And then this one, I'll do a different one as well. So this is what's going to sit on the quick access toolbar. A funnel and a green square, click OK. So they sit there. So I click on the funnel, that did the today. I click on the green square, should have picked blue square. It's not even showing green up there, but you can see that that's now pulled that in. Now, if I just close it, now this is not a macro enabled workbook. It doesn't matter because the macros were saved in that other one and you can run them from anywhere. That's why it's in your personal macro workbook. It's quite important that. If I just close this down and don't save it, if you go down to where the sheet tab is, so this is back to the original file. If you go down to the sheet tab, right click, you can view the code that the macros created. So the macro created the code, then you can view it and edit it if you make a mistake. Now there's the personal. So I've opened that up. You can see the two macros that I recorded, and there's the names. There's what I did. So type in today, and you press and enter. So this is a bit of code, and this is where people start to learn the Visual Basic of Excel by recording, having a look at what it's done, and then doing a few tutorials, and you basically pick it up eventually. So that's the Visual Basic window. So that was just two very simple recorded macros and two ways of adding them up to the quick access toolbar or just creating command buttons. But that's all I want to talk about in this little session. So hopefully that's of use. Thank you for your time. I'll catch you in the next one.